What's going on? Once again, we're back. The Master Channel Podcast in full effect. I am DJ Wide Body.
And I am CX the producer.
And this is the Master Channel Podcast. We talk about ins and outs of this hip-hop thing, both theoretically and technically. Yes, sir. Our fourth installment, 2019. What's going on, CX, my brother? What's happening?
What's going on, Wild Body? How you doing, brother?
Glad to be back, man. All this love is love, man. Glad to be here another day. Glad to be here another podcast, man. We just keep stacking them up. You know, we got it. I think it's going to be a good one. This one, man. You know, the rest of them have been good, but this one here is near and dear because this guy here is his energy is just crazy, man. Very inspiring brother, man. I'll go ahead and introduce him. For those of you guys know who this guy is as soon as I start talking about him. Ladies and gentlemen, from the DMV now in Wisconsin. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to the Master Channel Podcast, Overlor.
What up, baby?
What's happening?
What's up, man? I'm living life, enjoying life, man, making the most of this.
Oh, yeah, man. Welcome.
I'm gonna start calling you the drum machine curator, man. Curator drum machine.
I knew he was gonna get with this, man. I knew this was gonna start.
Welcome, man. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm loving life, man. I'm my best self right now, so I'm real happy.
That's what's up, my brother. Hey, motivational speeches sometimes have got me, out of a bad day. So I want to go ahead and thank you for that, man.
Well, I'm glad I can help. I'm glad I can help.
Well, we're here today, man.
Yes.
We got the Master Channel Podcast, man. We're just gonna sit down, have a conversation, talk about this thing that's near and dear to our hearts that we love. Hip hop production, hip hop, everything else is so associated, all the apply, and everything, man. Sound like a plan?
Yep, I'm good with that.
All right, man. I like to start always to ask you, man. Take us back, man. Take us back to where you started doing production, when you fell in love with this thing, man. Tell us where it all began, man. Take us back, man.
Man, it all began, man, when I first heard rap, man.
Okay.
And I was instantly hooked. Right away. Then a few years later, I got into DJing.
Okay.
And I actually had my first mentor, first and almost only mentor, Wayne Ski.
Okay.
He was a DJ back home, man. I was just amazed at watching him do his thing. Man, we used to go to school after school every day, man. We'd go over his house, can I mix? And some days, man, he went for, he'd be like, no, leave it stand out there in the cold. But man, that dude taught me a lot. And then from there, I just started rhyming out of a dare because my cousin said he didn't think I could do it. So I just started rhyming, and then eventually, rappers need beats, so I had to get into my beat game, and that happened after I got out of school. So yeah, I've been doing this for a while.
Wow.
So funny thing is, man, me and my boys, we used to have a group called the MOB. It was Baylor, was Spook, myself, and we always got equipment, and we always made sure we all got something different. So if we ever needed anything from the other, we have a master studio if we combined our stuff. So
makes sense.
So that's how that hooked up, and the rest is, I guess, it's kind of history, man. I just been getting it in from there. I know back in the day I used to hate those drum machines. I just couldn't get those sounds I wanted because I like the sample.
Yeah.
And it just sounded cheesy. So I was, man, my first production was on a 4-track DJ style, and I'll flip my samples or get my loops, and then I run break beats with them.
Oh, okay. Much.
Damn. Well, what was your first drum machine?
Oh, my first drum machine, man, it was a Yamaha, and I forgot it. I know I hated that motherfucker. But it was a Yamaha joint. I mean, when you first got it, man, it was all love. But when I really started to try to sample with it, I hated the way the drums sounded, and I wasn't great at at tweaking the sounds at that point in time. So I was very disenchanted once I really started getting it in, because I couldn't get that sound I wanted.
It's like, to you, it was a Red Ryder BB gun when you first got it.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Shoot, man, my first sampler was a rack mount, and that was I think in the Elisa's rack mount sample or something like that.
Wow.
I can't remember, man. I had so much gear. I mean, CX, you know, he be laying back in the cut like, you know, he just don't collect everything.
Wow, man. You know, I still got that headphone amp you gave me too, man.
Oh yeah?
yeah, I still got it. I remember when I was over your house, you gave it to me.
Oh.
That's what's up, man.
Hey, let me say this. If you had a rate, you got to rate your drum machines that you've had your hand on, from counting 10 all the way back to 1. How would you rate it?
You mean ever had or what I have now? Ever had? 10 down to 1. Can I go reverse?
Yeah, you can go reverse.
That way I won't lose count. All right, number 1, man, I'm loving my X.
Okay.
The MPC X is the truth. So MPC X will be number 1 because that's like the staple of what I do here.
Okay.
The Live would be number 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really, really feeling live, and being able to get on the computer and get it in. When I got my Ren, oh man, it was a game changer for me. I was like, oh, so the Ren is number 3. All right. A 2500 will be my number 4.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy because my MV88 and MV8000, where I'm at, 6 and 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5.
Yeah. So the 2500 was 5. The 88 and 8800 that'll be 6. That'll be 6 and 7.
Okay.
And I used to joke around and Guitar Center. No, I was dead serious. I called it the MPC killer. I love that thing, yo.
Yeah.
I love that machine. So the MV. Go ahead.
What you say?
Yeah, exactly. Then it would be the 1000. So that puts me at 8. The 2000 XL,
mm-hmm.
and then my Remix 16, because when I first got a real sample I could produce with, it was the Makai Remix 16, that phase sample.
Mm.
I still have one to this day. I'll never get rid of it because it's like a humble beginning for me.
Oh yeah, I've seen you get busy on that a couple times. I'm like, what is he? Is an Akai? You know, I didn't know anything about it. But yeah,
you know what's crazy? Why? I was all set up, man. I had my tax money, had made arrangement with my wife. We had made it okay that I'm getting some gear.
Yeah.
Had me like $1,200. I'm like, yo, I'm going out here to Guitar Center. I'm gonna get me an MPC. Yo, I'll be getting it in. Went down there, got my feelings hurt. I like, dude, this ain't enough money for MPC, dude.
Wow.
Yo, so I had to get the Remix 16, yo, and I got that joint fully maxed out.
Right.
But yeah, I it was like bittersweet.
I'll say this, man. You know, that MV, from what I hear, it's a lot of menu diving. When you did your thing on YouTube with the MV, you probably sold a few units because you made it look like it was easy. And then when you incorporated the monitor with it, you made it look real easy, man. A lot of people are afraid of that machine, man.
Oh man, I love that thing to death. And to be, funny story with that. When I first got that joint, because I got out of music for a while, because I just wasn't liking the state of hip hop at that time. And nothing against, and these guys are pioneers, and I have a lot of respect for them. But at that time, I just wasn't feeling the shit, and it was like that Master P era, right?
Right. Oh,
and I was like, yeah, I ain't got time for this.
Yeah.
I left it alone, right? Then when I got back into it, I said, when Blaze started hitting, and then Bink and all those brothers started really like kicking it, and I was like, you know what? I'm getting back in this. I'm getting me another joint.
That's
right. So I went to Guitar Center, and I'm debating, arguing with myself. Should I get a 2000 XL? Should I get a 1000? Dude's like, man, I got this MV8000. This dude, man, just turned it back in. It's at a good price because he couldn't work it. He was like discouraged. And I'm telling you, this thing's a beast. Man, that dude sold me on it. I walked out there, man, the happiest dude. Man, went home, tried to work that joint, man. I was like, you know what? F this. I took that joint back to Guitar City. He said, "Nah, dude, this is a serious joint." I'm like, "Nah, dude." He said, "Well, he's like the rolling lady over there, man. She can show you." I'm like, "The rolling lady?"
Wow,
I was chauvinistic as hell. I'm like, "What? She gonna show me?" Some white lady? I'm like, "Yeah, right, okay, whatever." I went over there. She started showing me stuff, man. I forgot her name, man, but blessings to her, yo. When she showed me a few things, it might have been her. But man, she showed me some ooh wee. I was like, oh yeah. I took that joint home and never looked back.
Right. That's crazy. Now RZA was saying something when he first got his MV, how he had the pack as well. Those things are intimidating. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
You know what I liked about it? Being a 16-bit machine.
Yeah.
It was so freaking warm. I mean, it was like using like a older piece of gear. Mm-hmm. You know, okay. It was like warm, like I never owned a 60, but maybe like a 3000 or 2000, something like that. It had a nice sound, man.
It had a lot of, because you know I still got my MV 8000, and it had a lot. Rolling stuff always had the mid range. Mm-hmm. It was mid to low end, mm-hmm. and they always had that with it. And you know, that was the first self-contained drum machine where because I did albums in this thing. You know, where you ain't need nothing else. Yeah, mm-hmm. You ain't need nothing else.
That joint, the studio in the box, man. Roland was on to something, man. I'm pissed off at Roland right now, though, man, because realistically, to me, as far as I'm concerned, they were like the precursor to the machine. I mean, because you had a machine that you could hook a monitor up and use it like a computer.
Okay.
I'm like, why y'all ain't just do the reverse?
Yeah.
I'm like, I just knew they was gonna come out for like maybe a MB9000 or Roland was gonna come out for a controller-based system, because with all that stuff that it could do, even if they were to do it now, this shit would be popping.
Right. It fit right in. It's lane for them too. What year did 88 come out? 08 or something?
The 8000 came out in 2003. Am I right?
No, later than that. Came out later than that.
Okay.
I think it was around 2007 or something like that. 7 or 8, one of them.
All right.
I know the 8800 came out maybe a year or two after.
Yeah.
Well,
about 2 years after.
Man, I'm seeing. We were talking the other day, and so you know, a couple of years ago, Machine, you know, it got the MK3, and it's now like Native Instruments is like dead now. It's like everyone's grabbing Akai products right now. It's crazy. You don't hear anything about Machine. I mean, me and Brother CX, we've talked, you know, in the past about this. You know, when you know, no one saying anything about Native Instruments or anything about the, you know, the MK3 or nothing. It's like a forgotten thing now. It's like people are they're frustrated because Machine won't go ahead and let you import MP3s or, you know, have audio tracks in there where you could just be a one-stop shop. And I'm like, well, Native Instruments is a software company. You would think they'd be, you know, in front of everybody, but kind of, man, they're playing a little catch up here. I don't know what they're doing behind the scenes, man, but they got to do something.
I think they got comfortable, man, because they had a nice little run. Yeah. I mean, when they did that, I was even impressed, man. I grabbed the Machine. Mm-hmm. I just couldn't wrap my head around it as good as I wanted. Mm-hmm. But they had that thing, and I think the strength was the fact that they were a software company. All they had to do was make the hardware control what they did best, which was their software, mm-hmm. which was freaking ingenious on their behalf. Yeah. But kudos to Kai Newmark, man, because they got in, and it's like their pride was on the line, man. They jumped in, and man, they really went in, and I'm happy with how, because as with all these improvements, and I think CS can agree with me. From when you first step on the MPC, it was just so you could figure it out or figure your way to do it.
Yeah.
And then you could get busy right away. Yeah. And then as you grow with it, the thing that amazed me with them is as they added these new features, it was almost second nature. It wasn't like, I got to relearn something new. It was just something added to the mix. So how they incorporate the new features on it.
Yeah.
Where it's just so natural for you to dive right into the new features is amazing.
Well,
yeah, it is. It is.
I could test to that. Never really have been an Akai guy. I got a live last year, and I picked up on it like it was nothing. It was so user friendly. It just made sense. It was like, I of course I had question here, question there, but I think I grasped it pretty good, man. For just using native instruments for a while, then going over to the push and whatnot, man. It's really, really simple to use to me. And the updates, I've never been so excited for an update in my life. I can't wait till they come out with a new update because they've been killing it, man. They definitely the real MVPs this year. I don't think no one else can touch them.
I mean,
but they're a staple, man. There's go ahead, Shaq.
It's like Akai is the parent that lets their kids stay out a certain time, and Native Instruments is the parent that ain't with those kids. Go be out with like those kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
Your parents. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And,
yeah.
I mean, Akai just one thing can't really speak on machine. I mean, you speak on Native Instruments, but I was a machine you're going to be winning as well. Akai really listens to the community.
Yeah. Well, you were telling
really do.
Well, you were telling me
Really
you've contributed a lot of information. CX, I know this stuff talking with you. That's dope, man. That's why they're successful right now, I think, man. Cats like y'all, man, letting them know what, you the eyes and ears out here. Of course why wouldn't you listen to the consumer?
Exactly.
Well, you got to realize too that Akai, they come from. I mean, their product was famous by its users. Famous by the product. They
CX, you're breaking up, brother.
Understand what I'm saying? It was made. Their products were made famous by the user. They weren't fake. It was the
right. Hey, CX, you're breaking up real bad, bro.
Can you hear me now?
Say something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got you.
Go ahead and say what you were saying. Can you say that again?
I was saying that their products were made, famous by the users. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Their products wasn't made famous by the product. It was made famous by the user. Then, I mean, once everybody's seen it, because a lot of times, those drum machines when they were made, they weren't intended to be used the way we use or hip hop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Such as like, I remember, getting 60 and SP1200. Like they were just made to be sampling drum.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They wasn't made to be sampling and stuff.
Gotcha.
I think it's a good thing that Akai is stumping a mud hole in everybody.
Yeah.
and machine users, reason users, all of them should be happy because it's going to make them companies get off their ass.
Right. Yep.
That had to happen. I've always said that it's just the companies listening to the consumer, what we need, and then seeing what's doing and keeping their ears to the street and seeing what people are doing with this equipment to improve things. Now it's like if you want to play, you gotta come with it.
Right.
You can't be messing around.
Yeah.
And to be quite honest, man, the Akai is like the ultimate parent of all these 16 pad machines because they the ones that started off.
Right.
I mean, matter of fact, peace out to David Lynn. Roger Lynn.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because if it wasn't for that dude, man, who knows where it would be? Right. Probably be doing something crazy or something different. But yeah,
what's crazy is that Akai is like you said, Akai is successful because of that, and we're gonna be the beneficiaries of the DAW wars, if you will, because they're gonna have to. You gotta come when you come. You gotta come over the bar. So it's gonna, be an ongoing process with this, man. Who knows? Maybe in 2 years we're talking about how Reason came out with a hybrid unit or something, or a dedicated controller for Reason, whatnot and stuff. It's a good thing, man. It's.
I would say this, man. I'm not saying I'm a prophet or anything like that, man. When it comes to this music equipment, but Why can attest to what I'm about to say. Before that 2.3 software came out, I said they need to incorporate some patches out of different keyboards and stuff like that. Got called wild by there. I said, man, they just came out with it. And then I kept saying they need to come out with a Fruity Loops controller just for Fruity Loops. And look what happened.
I was just about to speak on that, man. I'm like, it seemed like they touching every aspect of this production, and they touching every aspect of it, and it seemed like they got their finger on the pulse. So no matter where it goes or how it evolves, it seems like they're ready. I think they learned from that little beating they got from Native Instruments. You know.
Oh, they were harassing the shit out of them for 3 years ago. Like, I remember, because I wasn't on the car yet, but I remember you guys waiting for the 2.0 update, and it was like a year, maybe almost 2 years, and Native Instruments was eating that up, man. They would sit, they got caught with their hands on their hand. They were sitting on their hands, man. I feel kind of like,
but it's like a tire went kind of backwards. They went from standalone to software. Then because everybody wanted to try to get the software around like Native Instruments. So when they got there, everybody was like, "Oh yeah, this tight," but now we want a standalone. Remember they were saying that for like 2 to 3 years. When the standalone coming? When the standalone? Y'all need to put this in a box. Put this in a box. Did it? When they did it right, and then the icing on top of the cake. They brought Air products, and then those plugins are inside the Live and the X. Like all three of us are MPC users. Like I literally don't even turn my computer on anymore. I got a gaming laptop, brand new. I don't even use it. I know you got multiple workstations, Overlor. You got more workstations than the goddamn corporate business or something. But when you at that X, it seems like most of the time you're just there on standalone mode.
Well, I'm actually in the box. I do go on standalone every so often just for the limitation portion of it, because I don't want to lose grasp of my limitations. And that's why I hold on to all my other machines too. But I'm in corp right now. I've been doing a lot of stuff and been dangling and dabbling and making more original stuff. So I've had the computer on more. But I do like to mess around with it in standalone mode, just because, like I said, I want that limitation. And then if I feel like I'm getting overwhelmed with all the options I fucking have, I'll go to the 2000 XL or I'll go to the 2500. Mostly 2500, because I have a compact flash adapter that I can put an SD card in.
Oh, okay.
So I can mess around on there, do something, and I can always bring it back in the X and then finish it up there if I want to throw any live instruments or any VSTs or anything like that to it.
They nailed it, man. Like look what you just said. They nailed it. You're going back and forth from old vintage gear to now MPC with a flash card. That's it. Yeah. That's all we want.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not all we want, but that's these. I'm telling you, man. I kind of like, I ain't no prophet or nothing, but I just feel like in the next 5 years, man, all these companies are gonna get online and they're gonna start doing hybrid units. They have to. They're gonna have to. This is so successful.
I know it's supposed to be an interview. Well, you said we chopping it up, so I'm not even gonna take it like an interview. We just brothers hanging out.
Oh, absolutely.
But see, I got a question for you, bro.
What's up?
Have you seen that product? Because I know you was doing it with come on. You'll know what I'm talking about when I because I can't think of it right now. But this company,
Corebot. Corebot.
You talking about the one? I'm talking about the one with the microphone where you could like use your voice to control shit.
Damn.
No,
they're not on GoFundMe. They're on what's the other one?
Crowdfunding.
It's a funding thing where you get in early, and then you can get the software when it come out, and then all this other stuff.
It's crowdfunding.
Yeah, it's crowdfunded. I just forgot the exact name of it, but But yeah, man, you can actually use your mouth to hum out the melodies and stuff like that. I know you was doing that back in the day with the what's that software, man?
Ableton.
No, not Ableton. Melodyne, like that. Man, that joint looked pretty impressive. So if I see the link or the commercial for it or whatever online, I'll shoot it to you. But it looked interesting, man. Look interesting as I don't know what. I mean, because you can even control your drum just by doing your beatboxing. It's controlling the drum sounds in your machine. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out how they doing that.
It's like Ableton audio to MIDI is nothing to play with. The audio to MIDI in Ableton is incredible, and Melodyne started it. You know what I'm saying? And it's algorithms, because like it'll detect that stuff. Will detect if you're doing a drum sound by the quick pitches up and down, because the kick's going to be low pitch. Snare's going to be high pitch, so it'll detect that, and then it'll detect the root. It's like you can do that when you do it to the click.
Okay, I tell you what though, man. What are y'all feelings on AI right now? I mean, to some point, it's like super exciting. It's almost like the cars, man. I don't know if I'm ready to have a car drive me around. You know, I just feel like I gotta have control. But the AI and the music, man, I don't know whether to be excited about it or feel like it might stunt my creativity. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the AI has always been there, you know, and I don't think AI and music is good for us. In a sense, it may be good for somebody with who get those blocks all the time and can't create. You know, because it'll start learning your patterns and then generate certain stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's all the AI is. It's adaptive, artificial intelligence. But I mean, me personally, and I know a lot of us, I don't feel like we need AI like certain other aspects of like autonomous cars. Yeah, that's different. You know what I'm saying? That's what they call the autonomous car.
Yeah.
They drive by themselves. That's different, because that needs to self-adapt, because there's so many variables when you're on the road. Somebody might pull out in front of you. Fire truck may come. You know, so it has to learn how to adapt to those situations. But musically, nah, I don't need it. I don't think we need it.
But I don't need it. I don't need it created. I don't need it on a creative level for sure. But being a creator, and this is one thing, man, and I still fight myself on this. You know, being a creator, I love to create music, and I love the ability of coming up with ideas. Yeah. But when I'm sitting there, I'm telling you, man, I have no passion for engineering and mixing. I don't have the patience or the passion for it, yo. Right. I tell you, I will go AI or you CX all day there. I'm not messing around, dude. It just drains me. It just takes the fun out of it. I feel like I gotta really geek out. Sometimes I have fun tweaking my drums and stuff like that, but when I gotta start like getting these sounds and yeah, dude, it's like I just want to create.
Change this frequency here.
These machines we're using now, it's not like it was in a 60 or 3000 or SP1200. I'm from the 1000, 2500 on up. They have built-in effects in them, so you're constantly, even to, like I said, we're using now. As you're making it beat, you're tweaking and mixing as you go along, because you're not going to want to be making a beat and everything dry and then be like, I fixed it in such and such.
Oh, hell no.
You're actually tweaking and mixing. That's why I don't believe in a lot of stems a lot of times. I've been telling everybody, like, look, don't stem this out. You really don't need to, because you already mixed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You already mixed it.
I mean, I agree with you, because everything I ever contribute to any project or anything I did, like for my boy Gabbo, they've asked for the stems in some cases, but most of the time, most of the stuff I did was just 2-track, because it was already the way it needed to sound.
Right.
You know?
Right. that's it's. I just finished mixing and halfway mastering project just dropped, and I had stems on some, and the others I just two-tracked it. It was just easy. Inception, I made sure my drums were where I needed to go, my hats were, kind of sitting where I needed to go, and it was just had my drums there, and then the rest was history. I had one where I had separate, drums and stuff, which kind of it was some work, man. I ain't gonna lie, it was like I probably would have did a lot quicker and a lot better if I just would have kept everything together.
You know what's crazy? What's crazy is, man, it's like if you look at like Kung Fu, there's no real senseis no more. I mean, we are, but where I'm going at with it is that by the time you do that, right, if you upload it to some type of platform, they're gonna compress it a certain way anyway.
Yeah, right.
And each platform is going to be different. Mm-hmm. And then I start to think about it. The more you start nerding out on how perfect this gotta sound, that gotta sound, you start getting into that. That's really for the purists. The consumer, it just amazes me. The consumer don't care no more. If it sound halfway decent, they good.
Right.
Like, yo, you should have a wave over MP3. They don't care.
No.
It's just, it's just amazing, man. Like, that's why when I listen, I watch or I hear the trolls on YouTube or people on the forums going in, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. I'm like, dude, bro, you just way too serious in it. Yeah. And I think you're so geeked out in doing that you ain't really making music because the consumer don't care.
Hey.
What?
You know what? That's crazy you said that. The only thing that I was worried about, this thing, LUFA is kind of like each, like Spotify, YouTube, they have their own little range. It's like YouTube's a dash 15, Spotify's a dash like 13, and like Apple's a dash 15. And then I got, I'm on this meter level thing, and it tells me I'm in that area, I'm happy medium. That's all I do. I can't get into KV levels, and I can't do that, man, because now I don't look at this as it's not a science project. I don't look at, I just don't cut. I ain't cut from that cloth. Some people can so you got to have your RMS around -5 and like, oh man, that's just.
Yeah, but the crazy thing is you need those people, and that's why back in the day when I put together a team, and CX was actually on my team. Mm-hmm. I had a little production team, and the reason I did it, man, for one simple purpose, I knew I couldn't do everything. Right. So I said, I'm gonna get people who do stuff I don't want to do, who do stuff I don't know how to do, and can do stuff better than me.
Very smart.
And then when you look at those teams, like you look at Rockefeller, you look at Rockefeller, you look at Rough Riders and all those. They were squads. They had a team. Yeah. Meaning that you knew Guru was going to take care of the mix.
Yep.
All Blaze had to do was create the beat.
Yep.
And they had their go-to guys that would master it. I mean, I always want people who are geeky in that. Like, this is what I do. I love engineering. Okay, cool. Here you go. Right. I love mastering. Okay, here you go. It's like we got away from that because everybody wanted to be able to do everything.
Right.
And my problem with that, and I said it before when I was back home before I moved out here, that these guys was talking about this rapper that was pretty hot. One of the local rappers, and they start to fall off. I said, well, but he said, but his hustle is strong. Right. I said maybe he ain't really falling off. I said maybe it's because his hustle's strong. What you talking about? I said, think about it. I said when all he has to do is focus on writing, he's on point. But now he's got to write. He's got to worry about the production. Right. He's got to market it. He's got to get out there and sell it. So all those extra steps take away from his writing.
Right. Ooh, just talking about that, bro. Like if you had, like say, I just did production and I didn't have to worry about putting projects out. All I had to do was just sit here behind this thing and put out and make, do what I do and just pass it off. Life will be great. My creative juices are gonna be a little bit more on this because I ain't got to worry about the other stuff. I can focus just on the music. Got a point there, man. Yeah.
I really think that at some point we're going to get to that. Yeah. And with the influx of the improvement in software, also with what Akai is doing right now, just the fact that right now, if I wanted to, the way they set up, if I reach out, I want to put out a sound kit, I could reach out to them, and then they will put it out. Right. And you can, and the fact that you can share stuff like that. Because on BeatStars you can sell your sound kits as well as selling beats. And you can sell your project, your album and stuff like that. Right. So I think what's going to happen is these platforms are going to allow. I mean, you're starting to see it with like Lander and all these other places where they're allowed.
I see that. Yep.
So what you're going to see is you're going to have these either AI, or you're going to have people or collaborations where you can reach out to a particular person, where you can just stay in your creative flow. They'll take care of that portion of it. Yeah. And then you just keep it moving. I think it's going on now, but I think it'll be more of an influx of that in the future. And
that's dope, man. That's just kind of we have the luxury of sitting here. I mean, I could do a whole album sitting right here, and I gotta mix it. I can master it. That is a lot. It takes away from what's on the foundation, which is the music. And that's smart. Like, you said when you got your equipment, you each got something that the other one didn't have. So that's dope. So you kind of use that same approach when it comes to, like you said, when you got your team together and stuff, man. That's that's a, thinking like that, and this is a dying breed, man. And it's a shame. I'm disgusted at a lot of things that I see online. I kind of have to stay away sometimes, man, because I don't get it. I don't understand it. I'm old, I'm on Facebook, and you go into these groups, man, and you're just shaking your head like, what the hell is going on in here? And it's, you got certain, got trolls, you got, this lo-fi thing, which I don't think they understand what lo-fi actually is. And it's become something totally different. What are your
what? Go ahead. What was the question you were asked?
I was going to ask, what are your thoughts on the evolution of hip hop as far as production, music wise? What are your thoughts on how this thing of ours has evolved?
Okay. Now, I don't want to sound disrespectful. Okay. Because it's going to come off disrespectful, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm really not. Because we always talk about the evolution of this music. Yeah. And I don't think it's an evolution. I mean, with the gear, what we're able to do and how we're able to do it, that's evolved. The way you're able to put your music out and build an audience and stuff like that, and build a fan base, real simple. Mm-hmm. That's evolved. Not having to really rely on the label if your hustle's strong, that's evolved. Right. Now the music itself, really, man, the music has not evolved, and I'm not saying that it's not getting better and things are. I just look at it as there's nothing new under the sun, and I always dreaded the day will come where, because think about it, man, when I started doing this hip hop thing and I started making my beats and I started DJing and stuff like that, I had my uncle telling me, "Oh man, these young kids, they ain't no real music." Yeah. Right. And then now I find myself, I'm saying the same thing. But you don't know that, young blood. This is how it's done. Right. And kind of I was listening to the podcast that you had with Gigahertz, and like you said, it's no mentorship no more, where you really not taking someone under your wing. Yep. And that's how it used to be in hip hop. I mean, Premier learned under a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? A few people. Large Professor learned under Paul C. So they all had like mentors that kind of taught them a path or a platform or a way to go with this music, or even with the equipment. Right. But I will say this, the one thing about the music, and that's why I said it hasn't evolved, is because when it started, everyone would go out of their way to be different, to sound different. Right now, everyone is like, okay, I got to sound like this, I got to sound like that. And everyone is think of it, man, when you call it the music industry, when you think of industry and you think of anything that's industrious, you think factories, you think plants, you think stuff like that. Yep. So you run them down the line. It's just you run them down the line. Right. And, you package it up. It's all the same. Or we're gonna make this one blue. We're gonna add a different part to this one. Right. We're gonna do this, that, the other. But basically, when you really break it down, it's all the same shit. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy now that I'm like, yo, is that Future or is that such and such? Right. I mean, it's crazy when you gotta like. I can't even know who's who distinctively. You know, it's crazy, man. And so I don't call and the young cats may like think it's disrespect. And I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just saying that you need to carve your own lane, because oversaturation only happens because everyone's doing all the same shit.
Absolutely.
You know, and like I said, now I sound like an old grumpy ass old man, which I'm not. I mean, I can be, but I'm not. I just loved hip hop when I got into it. All the different avenues you had. Right. I mean, like, man, you had backpackers. You had people.
Talk to them.
No one has identity no more.
Talk to them.
People had identities, and they represented that freaking identity.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? MOP wasn't going to talk no nerdy shit. Nope. They would from the streets, yo, and they would rob your ass.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, if it comes down to it, that's what they rapped about.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You know, De La Soul, and Tribe Called Quest, man, you meet them in a dark alley, you good.
Right.
You good, because you know that's not what they were about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then PE, they're going to give you knowledge. And Chaos One, they're going to like, look, man, we got some things going on in our community. We got some things going on in our culture that we must be aware of. And as human beings on this earth, we got to represent it. And the music is the best way to get this message out, because the music runs like wildfire. So this is the best way to get this message out. So my brothers and sisters are aware.
Right.
Man, we don't have none of that. It used to be like, I mean, Melly Mel had white lines, and everybody was talking about don't mess with the drugs, don't do this, that, the other.
Right.
Now everybody like, yo, man, get high as you can.
Right.
Get crazy as you can and do whatever. And I don't know, man. So I don't think the music evolved. And I just think that the music is music, and a lot of stuff is just repeated over again. Like come on, everybody, I gotta have that 808. Yeah, you know how old the 808 is?
Real. Come
on, man. That shit ain't nothing new. I mean, it just amazes me. And even lo-fi. Come on, lo-fi. All that is grungy underground music. Yep. If you ask me the first lo-fi track, the first time I think I heard lo-fi in my head was when I heard production by DJ Evil D, when I heard Boot Camp Click, and I was listening to their joints. Mm-hmm. That's the first lo-fi thing in my brain that I can remember, because the way the music sounded and how it represented itself. We always, I don't know, man. Black folk, man. I'm gonna talk about this, man. We like the subgenre shit and take something and make it, try to make it something different, but when it's all really the same shit. Dude.
You're right.
We never. I mean, when we said native tongue, we talked about a group of people that kind of hung out together. That's like a squad. Yeah. You didn't think a genre of music.
Right.
You just these are the type of people that hang out together based off that.
I mean, this is what we on.
You know what I'm saying? But then now we start subgenreing shit, making shit way more confusing than what it is, and then now giving people now we give people ammunition to troll, talk a whole lot of BS about something that just at the end of the day is just hip hop music.
Yeah, right.
It's to me when they talk. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yo, yeah, perfect.
Now, when they talk about the lo-fi, it makes me think of the beats that I did on the SP1200. That we did on the SP1200 back in the day, and we had to record it to a Tascam multi-track. You know what I'm saying? But I think where they get it mixed up is that they think because of the fidelity that they have in it, at the 12-bit sound, 19, 18 kilohertz, that they can just do anything. Mm-hmm. It's just like, okay, since you got that sound, you just take a loop and you just play the loop like you made a beat, and then just split it up. Like that ain't really beat to me. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I think what Overlor was talking about, I think the reason why a lot of them sound alike is because I blame it on the labels in a sense too, because they made it so as though, only way you can get a deal is if you sound like this person. So all of them kept copying each other, and to the point where as though anything that was different, oh no, we ain't doing that. We only doing what works. It's like they won't even take a chance on nobody else or no different style.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
frowned on that shit, but it used to be the other way around. It's like, we don't want you to sound like Jay-Z. We don't want you to sound like Just Blaze. We need what you got. Like now it's like, it's crazy. We
I remember. I'm sorry, yo, go ahead.
No, go ahead, we good.
I'm gonna say, because I remember like you try to do it, it's like, yo, we already got that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
we already got that.
What you
just think about when the Arrested Development came and what was going on when they came out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Yo. It was on their own shit, and it was lanes. It was lanes, and it was no crowd. Everyone had their lane, and everyone flourished in that lane. It's like now, it's like, yo, I'm like, did they just play this song 2 minutes ago? Like, no, that's something different. Like, really?
You know what's crazy though, man? The crazy part is this for me. It's like, in this environment and the way the air things are going now, man, I'm more in love with hip hop than I've ever been. Mm-hmm. And because what it did was, it reminded me back in the day was, you know, I've had cousins that would go to New York, and I would have people coming down. And it's funny how you could just be 3 hours away and I mean months, disconnected by months. I'm talking like 6 to 9 months. And New York is just 3 hours away from where I was. But you could be disconnected. Oh, we've been heard that. We've been playing that. We've been down with that, right?
Shit was mad.
Whenever you got something new, or you got something that was cool, you know, you kind of held on to it, or you kind of let somebody like, oh, yo, what's that? Yeah, you don't know this. You know, I got this from such and such. Right. Got the mixtape from my cousin that go up New York.
Yep.
So where I'm going at with this conversation is that right now, I think we're in a good space. And what I mean by that is, back in the day, everything was controlled by the industry solely. Now, as an individual, with the platforms that we got, like if you want to put out an album tomorrow, body, you just did it. I mean, you can do that,
right?
And then you can organically build yourself, your fan base, your culture. You got the ability to reach out and hear good music. So I don't complain about the music, because when I want to hear good music, I can find it. I can go online, SoundCloud, YouTube, or any other type of platform or outlet, and find what I'm looking for and hear those things that are near and dear to me, and even some new stuff. Even with the stuff the click is creating, the stuff that we like to hear. Yeah. So I think we got way more opportunity to do our thing, to pave our own lane. Because realistically, the new hip hop, like I said, it hasn't evolved. I'll just say this: pop music has just changed, because a lot of the rap that we hear right now is just pop music, because the mainstream is what's popular in the mainstream. So we will always try to find that. I mean, and CX know this. We will always try to find that underground, that raw.
Yeah.
You know, we would go out our way to find that.
Absolutely.
And we back in that era now, because we got folks like us, and even some younger cats that are in tune to what's going on, that are just doing it like that, and you can just find these people. So
I want it to be
in a good space.
I want it to be. I'm worried about preserving this, and all I want, and these guys, these youngins can do what they got to do. I want these guys to I need substance. You can do it with substance. I need substance. I need you to work at this. I don't want you to see what's the easiest way I can create something and go ahead, and you got to work with this. And the shit shows when you release it. It shows your effort into it. All I need is them to, you know, let's put some substance into what you're doing. And that shit, you know, this it's called creativity for a reason. You know, it's an art form. It's not cut and paste. You know.
Well, I'll tell you what. Even though we're in the young,
you know,
go ahead, see it. No, I'm just gonna say, even though we're
like this, man.
Go ahead, yo. I got you.
No, it was a delay. Go ahead.
Oh, I just want to say that right now, even though hip hop is one of the youngest genres, it's got some age now.
Yeah,
and enough age where yes, I agree. We must preserve. We must have some substance in our music, just like any jazz musician or any rock musician. You know, it's a rite of passage.
Yeah,
and that's something that we haven't had in our hip hop music, where it's not a true rite of passage for certain things. So therefore, things get the way they are now, and that's why we have what we have now. But if there's a rite of passage, you'll have substance. But we were accused of the same thing. The only difference is that it was a new genre, right? And no one was aware of it, and they thought it was a fad that wasn't going to last. So that's the only difference.
Well, to me, one other difference though is that when hip hop came about, I'm talking about not the the Grandmaster Theodore and all them days. They invented it. I'm talking about when it came up, when it was being pushed on TV raps and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
The thing was, the generation before us, they couldn't deny the music because we were sampling the music that they liked. So they had a connection to it. You understand what I'm saying?
True that.
Like our parents and our uncles and fathers, whatever, they were like, hey, that sounds like such and such. Yeah, they sampled that. You know what I'm saying? So they automatically like that song in a sense anyway, and we just put our twist to it. But the other thing is that it's good. I ain't gonna say it's good, but when you got all this garbage out there, it's easy for you to stand out doing something different.
Mm-hmm. True.
You know what I'm saying? There's a whole lot of garbage. One time back in our days, you had to do something real extraordinary to stand out.
Right. I mean, I just like, so I'm wondering, like, when I see, how do you, like, if I'm a young dude, what are these guys doing to get on? Is it, are you getting the internet buzz, and then these labels are seeing that and then signing you? Or, there wasn't the other way around, when you used to find somebody, some diamond in the rough, you want to polish it up, sign it, and then, you nurtured it, and the next thing you know, you put it out. It's like, that shit is dead to me. It's like, now, how many people can you get? You have any followers? You bringing anyone with you? Let's look at your streams. Look like your views on YouTube, blah, blah, blah. And then, so what the hell do you need the record label for? You know what I'm saying?
That's the requirements. That's the requirements that those labels have now.
Right.
Which you're following. You're following on both media platforms. Can you do this? Can you do that? When all actuality, when you were, one time it was that if you were dope with it, they would just sign. They would handle all that.
Yeah.
Now it's like they want you to handle all that, and the only thing they want to do is strip.
Yep.
To give you or pay for marketing a little bit.
I guess that's, that's the only thing that would be good for, I come in, I got 500,000, I got 500,000 strong, man, that's following me. That would, probably half of them will probably buy anything I put out. And, I probably would, need to nurture that 500,000 so I could take that 250,000 that's actually paying for, digital releases to where, now I'm on a different. But I'm kind of looking at that, like, are we buying hard copies anymore? Is that really profitable anymore? Hard copies?
I was ready to ask you that. I was ready to ask you if you said today, okay, I want to go buy such and such CDs. Where are you going to go out and buy?
Good questions.
You know what I'm saying? We gonna go ahead and buy it, bro.
Really?
You can't even name on one hand. Don't name the spots you go digging. Because that new album ain't gonna be in there.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I find it unique because, like I said, it's blessings and somewhat curses to all of it.
Yeah.
I think when Napster came out, that's when the record labels got very scared, got concerned, because now they're saying our artists aren't getting paid for their works.
Right.
And then we got into the well, what can you do, and I think a lot of that started off with Hammer. When you had him selling all this stuff out of his trunk, he was proving what he brought to the table. Labels love that because it's like, okay, you already got a following. I don't even have to put as many marketing dollars behind you because you already got it on lock. I just need to distribute you, put a little bit more buzz elsewhere so you can get it popping.
Right.
And labels started loving that. I think it's a little more crucial for labels now because, like I said, realistically, you mentioned 500,000, and if you had 250 loyal people that will buy anything that you want, guess what? You don't need a fucking label.
Them, exactly.
You independent. You independent now,
right?
Because if you do the math, You mean, granted, you won't be making Jay-Z money, but you can sustain yourself off of that.
Damn right.
And I think that's where a lot of people are lost. And I think this is where a lot of the youth are, where they think they need a label. And that's why labels are doing all this crazy stuff, like with these 360 deals.
Yeah.
Meaning they want everything.
Yep.
Granted, in the beginning, they will put money behind you. And granted, it was everybody like, I got to advance. Yeah, you got to advance. That's a loan. You got to pay that back.
Exactly.
Right? But your tour money, and if you sold merch and gear or anything like that, that was all your money. Now they want pieces of all that because it's not like that anymore. And the crazy part is, we in the era where I think there's more money circulating than ever, but now you're getting paid way less than what the producers were getting paid back in the day for the same craft.
Right.
It's crazy.
You know what's crazy is that a lot of them dudes who've been in the game for a while, who signed them deals back in the day, that their deals were structured for CDs and vinyl and tape.
Yeah.
And but their deals weren't structured for streaming, because at the time streaming wasn't out.
Yeah.
So now it's like, once that deal up, and a lot of them didn't re-back up and just let the deal go, and then now the labels are doing reissues of their whole catalog, like Daylight. How they did Daylight?
Yeah, Daylight getting screwed right now.
For real.
Yeah, they did a reissue of their whole catalog. You know what I'm saying?
You don't get theirs. But, we talking, and the only thing, what benefit I would see to the record labels and what they could probably do for you that you couldn't probably do for yourself is to get your shit on the radio. That is the only benefit to the record label, man. If you really think about it, MP3 don't cost nothing to make. I can make an MP3 or WAV file right here. I could.
And I always thought of that, and I had a concern, and I'm only saying I have a concern because I know I'm one of those people that when you mention the radio, I don't even listen to the radio.
Me neither, man.
I was ready to say that.
So I'm thinking that, what's going on is it the death of radio. You know what I'm saying? And realistically, even as producers, what's the direction to go? Because even on the streaming sites now there's beef and am I getting my fair share of my streams?
Yeah.
And how many plays? It's like, the cool thing about the industry is they always learn how to adjust, yo. When they went to streaming and they're like, oh shit, how we gonna make our money?
Yep.
And they got fearful. They found a way to monopolize that system and make it work towards their advantage, to where you gotta sell you gotta have crazy amount of plays to get any decent money on your streams. So that's why I think we're in the year, or we're in the age of the independent. And I think a lot of industries know that.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of them are playing on our ignorance. And some of the pioneers of that, I mean, CX, you probably down with this. I'm quite sure you are, because the first people that really started going on that route and being rebels with the record industries was Prince and Chuck D. When they like, okay, this internet stuff, I can cut you out and get all my money because of who I am. Oh yeah, let's try this out.
Don't forget Soulja Boy. Even though I don't like that little shit.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you what industry dictates everything. And they dictate everything between what format is going to be used for what. Remember when it was a DVD war going on against Blu-ray, and Blu-ray against this, that, and other. The porn industry is the one who dictates everything. People don't understand that. Whatever the porn industry goes with, that's what they go with.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. That makes sense. I mean, as weird as it sounds, but it's $1 billion industry. It makes mad sense.
Trip on it. They ain't trip on no $1 million. They got a formula.
because you got to think about it. When they stopped having VCR tapes and all that,
yep.
Those standalone stores was gone. They adapted and went online with it.
Streams,
and
right?
Streaming. So Same thing with the music industry. When they stopped selling CDs and all that in record stores and started streaming. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, the porn industry is the one who sets the standard.
Right.
Because that's the most streamed thing on the internet.
You know what they say too, and a little birdie told me this. I wouldn't know, because they say we don't download porn, we stream porn. You don't go get, But yeah, he got a point. I've never looked at it like that, CX. Holy shit.
It's funny. It's funny how we lost we lost value in the tangibles.
Yeah.
Because I mean, with no one, like, I don't need to have a physical copy. I don't need, it's crazy how we there and what you can get. And Will.i.am, very smart brother, man, said some cool thing, and pretty much what he said was, realistically, man, and he's true. It is true. Your music really is the commercial for your brand. And then and as you putting out your music, we put out music because we love it. But when you really trying to make money, the music is the commercial for your brand. So you best believe you want to have some type of product or some type of merch or something to help support it, because the music and your fan base, that's what have people buying stuff from you,
right?
And buying merch from you, and hence Dre with the whole beat thing, with his with Dre Beats and all these products, because music right now is readily available. You don't have to buy it now, because I'm like, if I don't want to buy the album or have it in my iTunes or anything like that, I can just go on YouTube and listen to it.
Exactly.
But also too, whatever industry dictate everything, the car industry. Because the reason why I say the car industry is because they're the ones who will say, "Oh, you don't need a cassette. You don't need a cassette in your car."
Right.
So they stop making cassettes in the car. Now, we don't want you smoking cigarette. We want you smoking in the car.
Take that tree out.
There is no lighter in there.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yep. So, and there's no CD players no more.
No CD players.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Right.
Well, my thing is, I see where everything evolves, and I see where things go, and I think my brain is always like, okay, what's next? I mean, granted, don't get it twisted. I love my music, and I love this music thing, and it's all about music. But what's the next platform? Like you were saying, with porn dictating everything, and the reason why I believe YouTube was super popular and is so popular is with the influx of reality TV. So when you go on there, people actually see someone actually doing something.
Yeah.
You become tangible. You're not like a Jay-Z where they if they put out a note to Jay-Z like, I really like your music, they know the chances of Jay-Z responding is low. And if they do get a response, they know it's not from Jay-Z himself, where they know they can touch you, they can not touch you, but they can reach out to you, question, and you become this person. So I think right now where we are is, I really think we're in the age of independence. And as an independent artist, you can grow yourself, but how can you connect more with your fans? How can you be more in tune? How can you give more of a real experience? I think that's where things are going. How can we gravitate and touch people organically even more than what we've already done?
Well, this is how you got to look at it. I mean, I remember when you first got your channel, like Overlor, and I'm seeing your view count. I'm like, damn, over 20,000, 10,000, 30,000, ill numbers. And from being in the tech industry, from working for Samsung and working for Google myself, YouTube is the epitome of capitalism, meaning that is the marketplace for capitalism to see who can get their own viewers and to have your own channel. It's no coincidence that they say channel. See, it's like they're the big network. They're the actual TV, and everybody is their own network.
Gotcha.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's like you can become a star on there by doing, like what you said, reality or whatever, reality TV or whatever. But I think that is the major platform, because if you look in almost every household in the United States, and possibly almost around the world, 9 times out of 10, everybody has a smart TV. because they even phased out the TVs, the regular flat panel TVs, just regular TVs. And now the smart TV is so accessible that people will actually throw one away to get a new one.
Shit,
you understand? They're indisposable like cell phones.
Tell my brother-in-law
understand
that
what I'm
shit.
saying? And what's one of the main apps out on a TV, smart TV? I don't care what manufacturer it is. What's one of the main apps on it?
Oh, Netflix.
Two up. Netflix
And YouTube.
Yep. So there you go right there. You know what I'm saying? It's like our industry changes because it changes with the market. It's not just music, it's just the consumption of media. And music is part of media. So it's going to change. It's going to change. The evolution is getting our music to films and getting it played in places like Chipotle, Starbucks, getting those licensing fees.
Candy Crush.
You know, stuff like that.
Fortnite.
Yeah.
Point.
Again, and I think that's when you asked me about the evolution of music, and that's why I said I don't think it has evolved, because I fear that we'll never have another instance. Look at what Illmatic and now, you know, what's going on with Illmatic right now, and with the whole symphony and all that. I mean, think about that, man. No one's really making timeless music anymore.
Absolutely not.
We're yearning it as people in our age group, which is greatly being diminished by the younger generation, where they want to consume, and shit is so old, so quick.
Agree with you. I'll even say this. Even I listen to music. Say 5 years ago, there's a few I liked mainstream joints. J. Cole's, and you know, those songs aren't, you know. Hold on for 1 second. You know, those songs are forgotten. There's nothing dated there's nothing in the last 10 years that you know, like, okay, you could play that anytime you want. This stuff, it's disposable. There's no substance in it. There's no, you know, to me, like I was saying, there's no weight in it. It's like, you know, this song here or this album here it was well done. It had everything that it needed, like Illmatic. You don't get those anymore. And it's not like, why can't you put your spin on an Illmatic, but it's up to date?
Well, I mean the industry in general, not just music, but film as well, it's stagnated. How many movies you've seen redone over? Such as Pet Cemetery. It's like they don't want to create nothing new. They want to just do something over with. You can see it with these little rappers out now. They're trying to they're using beats that have already been done. Biggie beats. The girl singing off a Wu-Tang Cream jump. You know what I'm saying? It's like y'all keep. It's like you know what I'm saying. It follows suit. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's trying to follow suit and do what. It's like the days when Pamela and Puffy was out, where they would always sample songs that were already hits. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Something that's that already proven to have some good legs to it. Like Hammer with Super Freak. Right. They can't touch this. He did higher numbers than Rick James with that joint.
Yeah. Now, Overlord, I got a question.
All right, yeah.
You know, this show is called the Master Channel, and while we're on the Master Channel, we like to ask each person, what exactly do you have on your Master Channel?
All right, elaborate.
Such as plugins.
Oh, all right. I'm big into native stuff, man. I love their stuff. I love their stuff. I love their plugins. So I have Contact and I have a bunch of the Contact expansions. Mm-hmm. I like the company Dope Sonics. I use a lot of their stuff because it to me it just translates to the older sounding gear. So like the Beat Machine, Bass Engine, Soul Town, and all those joints that they put out. Even the lo-fi joint is really, really nice. They just had some solid stuff. and even use their sound kits. And Sample Tank, I'm big on Sample Tank. I had Sample Tank 3, and right now I'm plotting to get that Sample Tank 4. I like Sample Tank. I think the difference, I like Sample Tank because I think when I use those instruments that they have with samples, I think it translates better.
Okay.
Sometimes I gotta do a little extra with the with the contact or with the native instrument stuff because it's so clean. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You gotta dirty it up.
Yeah, so I think you don't have. I don't think I have to. I don't feel like I have to do that as much with Sample Tank. Now, I'm not sure how it's going to be with Sample Tank 4, but Sample Tank right now is I use that quite a bit, and just other. I think that's it, man. I mean, I got other plugins and stuff too, but those tend to be my go-to. One thing I like is I got from Big Fish Audio. It's a plug that Grindhouse. I love that joint, yo, because it has that old gritty TV show 70s type gritty grimy sound, and the instruments sound like that. So it sound like vintage gear. I mean, it's times when I have that plug-in on, you'll hear saturation. And I'm like, what the fuck is that noise? I'm like, oh, it's this plug-in. I gotta take it off because it sounds like, vintage gear. So that's the main thing.
Hey, wide body.
Yep.
I don't think they're gonna give him a credit card.
Nah.
What are you talking about? You talking about that $10,000 credit card?
Yeah, man. It's just, I don't know. Shit in
No, sir, man. No,
Nah.
sir.
Man.
Hey, him and him probably off limits, man. They don't get the $10,000, man. That's
$10,000. He like $10,000. I have to buy MIDI wires or something. I don't know, man. Give me $10,000.
You remember how back in the day they was like, you can get the DJ starter package. You know what I'm saying? you got to be one of them starter package type dudes. Get the $10,000. You definitely be on that,
I
man.
got you. Yeah, that's how you plan. Well, I'll tell you what. Don't mess around. Let me and Hip Hop join forces.
Oh my lord. Oh my lord, man! Like we can't even do the $10,000 credit card with you, man, because you got like 4 or 5 workstations, man, with every piece of gear, man.
Hey, I still remember the studio tour.
I just don't get rid of shit. That's all, man.
Oh, you can have a music school up in there, man.
Well, I always got it where even back home, I try to have it set up where I put like this, man. If y'all come here and you want to get it in, it's a station for everybody if they want to get it in. Unless you definitely just want to work on your own gear,
Right.
So I want to be a good host, yo.
Hey, we need another studio tour too, my brother.
All right, no problem. I'll do that. But the main reason though, a lot of times, man, and CX, I'm quite sure you get in this space too. Sometimes, man, you just in the freaking zone, and I'll have an idea for something, and I got an idea for something else, and I'm like, okay, let me lay down the foundation, the base foundation for this idea, right? Now I need to step over here and throw that idea on the other idea on here, because if I got 3 ideas, I'm glad I got 3 stations I can go on and at least have it basically laid, so I don't forget it. Because sometimes, man, I mean, like my wife, sometimes she came down here one day, I was like shaking my head, she's like, okay, I'll leave. She said, what? I said, honey, it's no big deal, but I mean, sometimes when you're in that creative space, that idea in your head, one thing can take that shit away. You like, fuck.
Yeah.
And it's gone. And that might be, and we treat our music like our baby. I'm like, that might have been the one.
Yep.
Yeah.
That might have been the one.
Yep.
I just hate when you say, when you got it in your head, you're like, oh, when I get home, I'm gonna tear something up, and I'm gonna make a rack of beats tonight. Get home, it don't go as planned.
Misfire all the time.
You end up going to bed or something.
It never works out that way, man.
Nope.
I think as a creator, man, you just got to learn to deal with that, because when I feel like I want to be creative, a lot of times I'm sitting down here and I can't do shit. Then when I don't think I can do nothing, or I might, sometimes I don't feel like turning on the machine, but I force myself to turn on the machine. Then I make some ooh wee. I'm like, whoa.
Okay.
I ain't know I had this in me.
Yep. Anyway, man, never goes how I planned it, man. Never goes.
Yeah, it never goes that way. That's why I'm portable, man. I'm on the move a lot, so I can't be confined. But
word up. Thanks to shout out to Akai. Shout out to everybody out there. Hey, Overlord, man, you want to tell our audience, man, your handles, man, on your social media site, please?
Yeah, it's Overlord Beats on YouTube, Overlord Beats on Instagram. You can find me as Overlord Beats on Facebook. They'll come up with my government as well. Overlord Beats on Twitter. There's Overlord Beats on everything. You put in Overlord Beats, you can find me.
spell it, man, because
Oh yeah,
might.
Exactly. Put in Overlord. It's OVERLORBATS. You put in Overlord, you got me. Think of it Overlord without the D.
Okay.
And the reason it used to be Overlord, but I changed it because my girlfriend at the time said, you need to check your name. I'm like, what's wrong, man? I got a cool name. Maybe that's why you struggling. I'm like, yeah, get out of here. And I thought about like Overlord. I'm like, oh. So I took the D off, man, because nobody's over the Lord.
Oh, okay.
That's a smart move.
Okay.
It could be worse. Your name could have been Landlord.
Could have been assistant. Hey, man, I want to say, man, thank you for what you do for the culture, my brother. Definitely been an inspiration to me more than you've known it. Definitely love what you're doing for the culture, man. Continue to do what you continue success, my brother. Thank you for coming on, man. CX, you got anything, brother?
Man, I just want to thank him. It's my homeboy, man. And I appreciate you, man. I'm always talking about you. Talking about who is the gear curator. It's you. That's you. But man, we definitely appreciate you, man. And can't wait to get up with you in July, man.
I can't wait either. Well, CX, man, we go way back. Yo, you more like a brother than anything else to me, man. I mean, meeting you was just like a blessing. And be honest with you, dude, you inspire me more than you can ever imagine. And then when the squad got together and Gadget and just the whole dirty old men posse and all that, man, y'all granted, I'm not as visible. I'm that dude that laid back in the cut most of the time. But man, I see what y'all doing. I hear what y'all doing, and it gets me amped up. I feel like Premier, when he said he had his joint for the Nas album and hear everybody else joint, he's like, you know what? I gotta go back and I gotta like step this up a little bit. Sometimes, man, y'all piss me off when I listen to y'all song. God damn it. Nigga sound good. You like, yeah, this ain't it. Go back, son. So I appreciate y'all, man. Especially you, wide body, yo. You be killing it. You be killing it. We don't even have to talk about CX, man. He the fucking Matrix.
That's a
He the only brother I know that could get on damn near anything and make it sound good and then damn near master it.
I always say because he has to crack the code, man.
Yeah, but I appreciate you, brothers, for real, man.
No doubt, man.
Man, love for y'all, for real.
No doubt.
All right, well, we're gonna call it we're gonna wrap it up, man. Once again, Overlord Beats, my man. Thank you, my brother, again. That'll do it for the Master Channel. Join us on the Playback the Master Channel podcast.
Bring me back, baby.
I am DJ Widebody.
And I'm CX, the producer.
And this was the Master Channel podcast where we discuss the ins and outs of this hip hop thing, both theoretically, technically. Until next time, for CX the producer, I am DJ Widebody saying peace. Peace.